सच्चिदानंद नंद गुरु 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 सच्चिदानंद नंद गुरु 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 चिन्मयानंद नंद गुरु नमो नारायणाय हरिहर शशिशेखराय नमो नारायणाय हरिहर शशिशेखराय परब्रह्मानंद गुरु सच्चिदानंद नंद गुरु चिन्मयानंद नंद गुरु 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 सच्चिदानंद नंद गुरु 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 चिन्मयानंद नंद गुरु चिन्मयानंद नंद गुरु चिन्मयानंद नंद गुरु
Hari Om. Hari Om. Today's Aarti Seva is by Sri Ajit. I request him to please come forward and perform the Aarti.
आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की दिव्य रूप मूर्ति करुणा की आरती सद्गुरु की शरणों में उनके शांति समाए शरणागत की भ्रांति मिटाए पाप ताप संताप हरण की आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की आरती सद्गुरु की वेद उपनिषद गीता को गाया धर्म सनातन फिर से जगाया शुद्ध नीति प्रीति शंकर की आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की आरती सद्गुरु की सिद्ध बारी की तपो भूमि में नित्य विराजे गुरु हमारे भक्त हृदय आनंद श्रोत की आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की आरती सद्गुरु की आरती सद्गुरु की सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय।
Hari Om. Hari Om. Audible? Hari Om. We'll start. Krishna Krishna Mukunda Janardana, Krishna Krishna Mukunda Janardana, Krishna Govinda Narayana Hare, Krishna Govinda Narayana Hare, Achyutananta Govinda Madhava, Achyutananta Govinda Madhava, Satchidananda Narayana Hare, Satchidananda Narayana Hare, Krishna Krishna Mukunda Janardana, Krishna Govinda Narayana Hare, Achyutananta Govinda Madhava, Satchidananda Narayana Hare, Satchidananda Narayana Hare, Satchidananda Narayana Hare. सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ श्री गणेशाय नमः। ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं परमानन्दमाधवम्। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी. So in the last session, we have seen Rajavidya Rajaguhya Yoga, the path of royal knowledge and royal secret. Two things very important. It is the path of knowledge, which is the most important and most secret. Path of knowledge only. Why? Because Bhagavan in the beginning said, Jnanam teham savidnyanam idam vakshami yadnyatva neha bhuyonyat jnatavyam avashishyate. 7th chapter, 9th chapter. Remember the connection? So jnana, knowledge is given in such a way that vijnana, wisdom, experience can happen. So though it is the knowledge of God, it is still knowledge of God. Viji, why are you focusing? Because now what Bhagavan Shri Krishna is going to give is Bhakti Yoga, the path of devotion to God. Why? Because he is so compassionate that he doesn't want anybody left out from the whole spiritual journey. Why? Sometimes this knowledge becomes very difficult. Yesterday we saw Maya Tatamidam Sarvam, 7th chapter we saw. Jagadavyakta Murtina, 9th chapter also. Matsthani Sarva Bhutani, na chaham teshu avastita, na cha matsthani bhutani. Now some people they say, what is this? This is too much. Is there a simpler path that where we don't have to go so much into detail, don't have to study so much? School, college we did enough. After that we don't want to do again. Is there any way? That path which is given will come now as 12th chapter of Bhakti Yoga. It is the path of devotion. What is devotion? Devotion means love for something higher. That is called devotion. Gurudev used to explain it in a very interesting way. Devotion means love. Love means devotion. But there is a difference. What? I love my wife, I love my dog, and I love my sandals. But I cannot say these 3 sentences at a stretch. Otherwise the wife will be offended. I am devoted to my wife. I love my dog. And I also love my sandal. Devotion is what? Devotion is love when directed towards something higher. He would say, you will never say that you are devoted to your chappal. No, you won't say that. So love when directed towards something higher is called devotion. So the altar of love is different, but love as component is same in devotion and love. Now why this path of love, path of devotion? Because this path doesn't require any eligibility. For Jnana Yoga, for path of knowledge, for study of Vedanta, eligibility is required. Okay, number 1, what? You should at least know how to read and write. At least you can listen, understand. Language, knowledge and everything is required. Yes or no? Second thing, if you really want to enter into Vedanta, then Viveka, Vairagya, Samadhi, Shat Sampatti, Mukshutva, what is called as Sadhana Chatushtaya. Why? Only for such Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampanna Adhikari this knowledge is given. There is eligibility required. And therefore many people find it difficult. How is this path of devotion? Anybody can do. Anybody can do. This is such a path where no eligibility is required. Anybody at any point of time can start with anything. Why? Love. Love, different expressions will be there. Whichever one you like, you start from there. No need of sequential only necessary, nothing like that is necessary. You start. That is why most of our saints have propagated this Bhakti Yoga. They said you can't, to take Bhagavan's name, nothing you need. You don't need to know reading, writing, etc. So many so-called illiterate people also have walked this path. I am saying so-called illiterate because literacy we measure based on our schooling, education, etc. They are more wise. They have understood the main, most important thing. Very interesting, if we see in Maharashtra also, the entire tradition of bhakti is there, and all the Santa, Mahatmas who lived, saints if you see of Maharashtra, many of them were education-wise, our education that we understand, they were illiterate. But they have written such abhangas that people are doing PhD on it now. Hey, isn't it a wonder? How did they get that knowledge? They got it through devotion. See, in today's session, we will see this Bhakti Yoga, but we will also see how it is to be compared with Jnana Yoga and how it goes forward. Very important, that aspect also. But Bhakti Yoga is for everyone. Anybody, young, old, from any caste, creed, religion, anybody can get this. Right? That is what he says. He starts, we have seen the seed is there in the 9th chapter at the end only. After explaining the entire knowledge, Bhagavan said, Arjuna, manmana bhava, mad bhaktaha bhava, mad yaji, mam namaskuru, mameva eshasi yuktva evam, atmanam mat parayanaha. Arjuna, be devoted to me and you will reach me. After 10th and 11th chapter, where Bhagavan has shown the vibhutis of Lord and the Vishwarupa also, Arjuna is asking one question. 12th chapter begins with a question. Very beautiful question. And it is not a question on a particular thing. Like we saw in 8th chapter, 7th chapter, Bhagavan said something and from that immediately the question came. What is this? What is Adi Yajna, Adi Bhuta, Adi Daiva? What is all these things? So something that Bhagavan said, now he immediately is asking, he wants some clarity on the terms. What are the definitions of these? He doesn't know. Therefore he is asking. This question is not like that. This question is out of his entire understanding so far. That Bhagavan has said so many things, so you cannot pinpoint that, okay, this question is arising from this verse or this sentence that Bhagavan said. No. This is now overall thinking of Arjuna. He is putting it out in front of Bhagavan as a question. What is the question that he is asking? Let us see. By the way, 12th chapter is the smallest chapter of Bhagavad Gita also, because only 20 shlokas and all of them in Anushtup. 15th chapter also has 20 shlokas, but there are some Trishtup shlokas are there, so little bigger. This is the shortest, smallest chapter, according to the length, okay? Not according to the topic. So he says, Arjuna uvacha evam satata yuktaye bhaktastvam paryupasate ye chapyaksharam avyaktam tesham ke yoga vittamaha. Arjuna uvacha, Arjuna said, Bhagavan, ye bhaktaha satata yuktaha evam tvam paryupasate. There are those devotees who are ever united with you, means they always think of you and they worship you. Yecha api aksharam avyaktam paryupasate. And then there are those who paryupasate, who do upasana of akshara avyakta, that unmanifest form. So there are some devotees who worship your Saguna Rupa, and there are those who are worshipping Nirguna Rupa. Now you know these terms, Nirguna, Saguna. Tesham Yoga Vittamaha Ke. Both are following the spiritual path only. Whether they are worshipping Saguna Rupa of Bhagavan, Sakara Rupa of Bhagavan, or Nirguna Nirakara Brahman, they are pursuing. Both are following spiritual path. Both are on the right path of yoga. Which of them are better? Which of them are best? That is what he is asking. Yoga with tamaha, not yoga with taraha. Which among the two are best? See, what is he asking? There are those who worship you in a form, saguna rupa. Then there are those who want to know the nirguna rupa. Therefore they do nirguna upasana. Among the two, who are better? See, we also get this question. We are not able to formalize and formulate the question. That is the only difference. So far, how many times Bhagavan has said that, you come to know me? How many times he has said? Now he is saying, you devote your life to me, you give everything to me. The question may come, here you are talking about me, about you as what? Are you talking about yourself as Nirguna Nirakara Brahman? Or Saguna Nirakara Ishvara? Or Saguna Sakara Bhagavan? Or this Krishna Drishti Gochara Avatar? Whom should I devote? Should I be doing Saguna Upasana? Or should I be doing Nirguna Upasana? Actually the question is that, when you ask which is better or which is best, means which one I should take. So Saguna Upasakas are better or Nirguna Upasakas are better. Who among the two are the best? What do you think Sri Krishna will answer? I want public opinion. What do you think Sri Krishna will answer? Both? Okay. How many of you will say that, okay, he will say Saguna Upasakas are better? Nobody. You raise, don't listen to other people. Very good. How many of you will think that he will say Nirguna Upasakas are better? Okay. How many of you think that, no, he will say both? Both are better. Nirguna is better. Both are there, but Nirguna is better. Okay. Okay. The question is wrong. No, he doesn't say like that. He doesn't say question is wrong. He says, Arjuna, he is a politician. Okay, Sri Krishna is a politician. What does he say? Let us see. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Maya Veshamano Yemam Nityayukta Upasate Shraddhaya Parayo Petaha Teme Yukta Tamamataha. First thing he says is, Arjuna, Mai Manaha Avesha, by putting their mind in me. Ye Mam Upasate, those who worship me. How? Nitya Yuktaha, always thinking about me, always united with me. Shraddhaya Paraya, Paraya Shraddhaya Upetaha, overcome by very high level of faith that they have towards me. Te Yukta Tamaha, they are the best. Me Mataha, according to me. Who is he talking about? He is talking about Saguna Bhaktas. Veji, how do you know? You see, Mai Avesha Manaha Nitya Yuktaha Shraddhaya Paraya Upetaha. He had also said Satata Yuktaha Bhaktaha. Here he is, Sri Krishna is taking one word from there, and instead of Satata Yukta, Nitya Yukta, same meaning only. He says, those Saguna Bhaktas, according to me, are the best. Yetu, next verse. Yetu aksharama nirdesham avyaktam paryupasate sarvatragama chintyam cha kutasthamachalam dhruvam sanniyamendriya gramam sarvatra samabuddhayah te prapnuvanti mameva sarvabhuta hite rataha. Yetu, and then there are those who worship the unmanifest, imperishable form of mind, which is called Nirguna Nirakara Brahman. That is explained here. Avyakta, Sarvatragam, Achintyam, Kutastham, Achalam Dhruvam. We don't have to go there. Then there are those who are doing Nirguna Upasana. And how do they do that? indriya gramam samyamya, by controlling all their senses, sarvatra samabuddhayah, seeing that same Brahman everywhere, sarva bhuta hite rataha, ever engaged in the welfare of all. Now such nirguna upasakas also mameva prapnuvanti, they also reach me only. What is he saying? Saguna bhaktas or Saguna upasakas are the best. But Nirguna upasakas also reach me. If Nirguna upasakas reach you, then they are the best, no? They are reaching you. He says, no. Why? Because it is difficult to do Nirguna upasana. Klesho adhikatarastesham avyakta sakta chetasam avyakta higatir dukkham dehavad bhiravapyate. Arjuna, why I am saying Saguna Bhaktas are best? Because everybody can be Saguna Bhakta, everybody cannot be Nirguna Bhakta. Kleshaha adhikataraha, there is more difficulty. Adhikataraha, more. Tesham, for whom avyakta asakta chetasam, whose mind is ever in that nirguna Brahman, for them klesha is more, difficulty is more. Why? Dehavadbhi, because they are still identified with the body and wanting to worship the God without body. Avyakta higatir dukkham dehavad bhiravapyate. And for them, therefore, to reach the goal, dukkham is difficult. And therefore, I say Saguna Bhaktas are best. See, again I am telling you, the question is not theoretical question. Based on the answer, Arjuna is going to decide what I should be doing. Isn't it? It is not just, okay, what do you think about this? Okay. No, it's not like that kind of question. Based on what you say, if you say Saguna Bhaktas are best, let me become Saguna Bhakta. If you say Nirguna Bhaktas are best, let me become Nirguna Bhakta. So that is where the question is coming from, and therefore Bhagavan says Saguna Bhaktas are best. What do you mean by that? Without preparation, without Saguna Bhakti, you cannot go to Nirguna Bhakti. Nirguna Upasana is not possible without Saguna Upasana. That is the point. So without this, that is not possible. But this is possible without that. So what is best? This. That is what he is telling. If you go to Nirguna Upasana without preparing yourself through Saguna Upasana, it will be difficult for you. Klesha adhikatara. Klesha adhikatara. So what Bhagavan Shri Krishna is trying to say, why he thinks Saguna Bhaktas are better? Because that is a necessary step. And everybody can do it. These are the two reasons. Now they are coming. Again, ahead he will give more reasons. But right now what we understand. Now, so here let us little bit understand. When you say Saguna Bhakti, in simple terms it is called Bhakti. And that Nirguna Upasana or Nirguna Bhakti is what we call as Jnana. So Saguna Bhakti is Bhakti Yoga, Nirguna Upasana is Jnana Yoga. He says, without preparing yourselves through Bhakti Yoga, if you go to Jnana Yoga, Kleshaha adhikataraha, there will be more difficulty. Many times this happens with us. Somebody went once to Gurudev and asked, is God with form or without form? Answer only one. You can't say both. What will be your answer? With form or without form? Gurudev said, who do you think you are? With form or without form? If you think you have a form, then God also has a form. If you think that you are without form, then God is also without form. The question is not what is the right answer. The question is what is the right answer for me. Where are you standing? If you think you are this body, mind, intellect, then God also has body, mind, intellect. Why? That is your level. Worship that God. But if you think, no, I am not this, I am that, then that God also doesn't have form. It depends on your maturity, it depends on your eligibility. Without the eligibility, if you go for Nirguna, then there will be adhikatara klesha. But which one doubt? Of course, please ask. You said Saguna Bhakti, Nirguna Bhakti. And you said Nirguna Bhakti you cannot do without Saguna Bhakti. But Saguna Bhakti you can do without Nirguna Bhakti. Did you say that? Yes, I said. But still Nirguna is higher, you see. You see how you are showing? Like this I am showing. Not like this. Why? Nirguna Bhakti, if it is going to give some other better result, then it will become higher. But if the same result I can gain through Saguna Bhakti, then this is the best. Not convincing. If you say that without Saguna Bhakti you cannot go to Nirguna Bhakti, but after gaining Saguna Bhakti at some point of time you will have to come to Nirguna Bhakti. If that is the situation, then Nirguna Bhakti will be best. Nirguna Upasana will be best. Because it is the next higher step, no? But nothing like that is there. Why? We can reach the goal through Saguna Bhakti alone also. We don't have to go to Nirguna Bhakti. But Nirguna Upasakas have to start with Saguna Upasana. No, Veji, it is not that they have to. But if they don't, then Klesha Adhikatara is said. No, it's difficult, more difficult. Who wants to have a difficult path? So for ease, they have to start here. But everybody who has started here doesn't have to go there. And that is the point. It is not that Saguna Bhakti is going to give some lower result. Nirguna Bhakti is going to give higher result. That was the case, then Nirguna Bhakti would have been better. That is not what Bhagavan says. Bhagavan says, rather Arjuna, through Saguna Bhakti also the same result they are going to get. Ye tu sarvani karmani mai sanyasya matparaha ananyena iva yogena mam dhyayanta upasate tesham aham samuddharta mrityu samsara sagarat bhavami nachirat partha mayyaveshita chetasam. Beautiful. What is he saying? Arjuna, what is the goal of Nirguna Upasana? Nirguna Upasana means Jnana Yoga. He said, what is that Sankhyanishta? What do you want to achieve? What you want to achieve is that I must realize my own self, which is also the self of the entire world, because of which I will come out of this samsara. This is the 3 points which we have been seeing from the beginning. That I understand the truth about me, I understand the truth about the world, by which I can get rid of this samsara. He says the same result can be achieved through Saguna Bhakti. Why? For such people who are ever devoted to me, Tesham aham samuddharta bhavami. I uplift them. Mrityu samsara sagarat. From this ocean of transmigration, what we call as samsara sagara, I lift them. Bhavami nachirat, without any delay. You want to get rid of samsara, Bhagavan will be able to do it even with Saguna Upasana. So if you do Saguna Upasana, Bhagavan will do it for you. You understand what is the point Bhagavan Shri Krishna is trying to sell here? But Veji, one doubt. What? Why did you give lectures on first 7 days then? 6 days talking about knowledge. You must have knowledge. Without knowledge, nothing is possible. And now you are telling why? There is a difference between Jnana Yoga and Jnana. Remember we had discussed this point? Liberation is not possible without Atma Jnana. Liberation is not possible without Atma Jnana, Sankhya Nishtha. How you will reach that Atma Jnana can be different paths. Remember? Jnana Yoga or Nirguna Upasana is one path that may lead to Atma Jnana. And the path is, you have to first purify your mind and then go to Guru, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. In Dhyana, Nididhyasana also Savikalpa Samadhi, Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Remember? That will also give you Atma Jnana or Sankhya Nishtha through which you can attain liberation. Now he is giving another path, the path of devotion. You just love Bhagavan. But then just by loving, how will I get Atma Jnana? Bhagavan says, I will give that Atma Jnana to the Bhakta. In 10th chapter, this point is clarified by Shri Krishna. He says, verses 9, 10, 11 of 10th chapter. Macchitta madgata pranaha bodhayantah parasparam kathayantasya mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. Arjuna, those who are ever devoted to me, those who are macchittaha, they have put their mind in me. Madgata pranaha, their pranas have also come to me only. Means what? For them there exists nothing other than me. For such people, for such devotees, I will give them the self-knowledge by which they will reach me. That is that Brahman. So without Atma Jnana, correct, liberation is not possible. In the path of knowledge, the responsibility of gaining Atma Jnana is with the seeker, with the student. In the path of devotion, the responsibility of giving self-knowledge, Atma Jnana, is with God. Tesham eva anukampartham aham ajnanajam tamaha nashayami atma bhavastha jnana deepena bhasvata. Bhagavan says, for such devotees, I light that lamp of knowledge in their heart by which their ignorance can be destroyed. Anukampartham, out of compassion I do that, he says. Means they have given their entire life to me. What am I going to do in return? I will give them self-knowledge. This is what Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa used to explain very beautifully through two Nyaya. It is called Markata Nyaya and Marjara Nyaya. Markata means monkey. If you have seen, when the monkeys are very small, tiny, they will hang on to their mother's stomach. So mother is there and they will be hanging on like this. And the mother will be walking, will be jumping, and they will be hanging. He says Jnana Yoga is like Markata Nyaya. What do you mean? You have to hold on to the path. You have to control your senses, your mind. You have to get the knowledge, Shravana. Then you have to correct that knowledge, Manana. Then you have to meditate, Nididhyasana. You will have to do everything. How is Bhakti Yoga? It's Marjara Nyaya. Marjara is cat. When the mother cat wants to take the kitten, small baby cat somewhere, It just comes, lifts the kitten. So kitten doesn't do anything. It's just there with the responsibility lies with the mother. In case of monkey, the responsibility lies with the child. If you give up, then you will fall. In Bhakti Yoga, fall is not possible. Why? You are not holding on to anything. They often say, the saints used to sit on the shoulder of Bhagavan. That is how the description is. Bhagavan will carry them on the shoulders, in hand and everything. So even if you fall from Bhagavan's shoulder, you will fall in his lap only. You don't have to worry. So Bhakti Yoga is like that Marjaranya. Now let me warn you also. What? To become kitten also is not easy. We may say, oh, bhakti is simpler, bhakti is simpler. No. To quietly go wherever God is taking us and stay there without complaining is very difficult. That path is meant for innocent people. Please understand this. Too much egoistic and clever people can't survive that path. Why? Because they have their own ideas, unnecessarily messing with God's ideas. If the kitten is quiet, normal kitten, the cat mother can take anywhere else and the kitten will not say. But we are how? Who is picking up? Or why? So when God is trying to do something with us, we resist. Isn't it? We keep complaining. Why God? Why you have given to? Stay there and just do now. Why are you asking? That person got so busy. I am not getting. Why are you complaining? Why are you asking? It is not easy to just be where God has put also. Don't think Bhakti Yoga is simpler means compared to Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga is simpler. They are not talking about for us. For us both may be difficult. Please understand this. He is saying that Jnana Yoga requires a kind of maturity. Purity of mind is required. Clarity is required. So comparatively, Bhakti Yoga is easier. Don't take it casually. Oh, Bhakti Yoga, I will do. It's not easy. Why? I will tell you why. In Jnana Yoga, surrendering your ego is the last step. Isn't it? You do Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. The last thing you give up is the Jiva Bhava, is the Hankara. In Bhakti Yoga, that is the first step. Why? Bhakti Yoga starts with Karma Yoga. And in Karma Yoga, what do you say? I am not the doer, he is the doer. Very difficult. Very difficult. Even in the actions which are directed towards God, it is very difficult to dedicate that action to God. Please remember this. What am I saying? We said Karma Yoga is what? That you do your duty, offer to God. I am saying even those actions which are directed to God are difficult to dedicate to God. Example, you are doing puja. Correct? If you are doing puja, who are you doing puja for? For God, no? Do you remember this? Do you remember that you are doing it for God? We don't know when that ego will pop up. We don't know when it will suddenly start becoming for myself. And then we say also very proudly, when I do puja, no, I need all these things. He has said patram pushpam phalam toyam. Now you are giving your interpretation and now this is what you want, not what he wants. You understand even the action which is directed. You are singing for Bhagavan, let us say. You are singing Bhagavan's song, bhajan. Even there that ego will come. Isn't it? First of all, while singing bhajan, very rarely we focus on the lyrics. That's why most of the bhajans, the saints know, our ancestors, saints were so clever people, I tell you. They used to only have bhajan with only names of God. Why? Don't think. If there are words, no, we don't even focus. We don't see what we are telling to Bhagavan. Our entire focus is on whether my shruti is correct or not, pitch is correct or not, how many people are listening, are they, is my voice okay? Before every singing you have to, as though that is a norm. If you don't do that, and if you don't have a flask with hot water, now that is what people think, that without that you can't sing. Is that singing happening for God, or is it happening for yourself? This question has to be asked. So I am saying even those actions which are directed to God are very difficult to dedicate to God. In that also we will have our ego. It may say that Bhakti Yoga is simpler than Jnana Yoga. That doesn't mean it is for us, okay? For us, we still have to put efforts. Why? Second reason I will give. It is not easy to love. Vijay? It's not easy. No. It is very easy to love yourself. That is very easy. That we do all the time. But to love somebody else, difficult. Number one, for many people it doesn't come naturally. So when other people are singing with love, for God, and so many great saints, we have seen also, they used to sing for God with such devotion that they will even forget where they are, what are they doing, whether they are wearing dress or not, whether dress is falling, they will not even know. It is said about Namdev Maharaj that when Namdev Maharaj used to sing for Bhagavan Vithala outside the Pandharpur temple, sometimes while singing he will start dancing. Now in order for him to stop dancing, otherwise he will become breathless, Vithala used to come and dance. That you continue singing, I will dance, don't worry. And if there is some Angavastra etc. is falling, Vithala will come and put it back. Why? That Namdev Maharaj doesn't know anything. Even when Vithala is putting back, he doesn't know that Vithala is doing it. When such devotion we see, other people they wonder, what is this? Why? Because it is not natural for everybody to love God. It is not natural. Especially when we are young, when we are fascinated by our intellect. We have just started, understanding the power of intellect when we are growing up. At that time when somebody says, you just love God, they'll say, what God? Nonsense you are talking about. We all have done that mistake. I remember when I was in Yuva Kendra and we were studying, Tattvabodh, Atmabodh, Vivek Chudamani, etc. My mother used to sing for Bhagavan. Every day she had niyama that every day 2 songs she will sit in front of God and offer to God. Now, young mind, when I used to look at her and I used to say, what is this? All the time, Hare Rama, all the time singing. Get up. Early morning you should get up and study. Sometimes she used to get irritated with me. Sometimes she used to say, it's okay. No, one day it just became too much. Why? Because she was singing one song, Bhagwan meri naiya, us paar laga dena, ab tak to nibhaya hai, aage bhi nibha lena. Very famous song. And in that one stanza comes, second stanza, Sambhav hai jhanjhaton mein, tujhko main bhul jaऊं, par naat kahin tum bhi mujhko na bhula dena. That Bhagavan, it is possible that in this whole chaos of samsara, I may forget you, you don't forget me. No, when she sang that line, I just lost it. I said, you people don't want to do anything. You don't even want to remember Bhagavan and take that effort, and then you are telling God that God should remember you? What is this? This is wrong. My mother very calmly said, one day you will understand. Now you see, this sentence children hate the most. Why? Because after this sentence there will be one more sentence which will come. Generally mothers, emotional drama they will do. They will say, one day you will understand, and that day I will not be there. Number one, why can't I understand it now? Number two, why are you talking about all these things? I don't want to know. The fact is, when I went to Sandipani, when actually started to do some sadhana, trying to remember Bhagavan, then I understood that it is impossible for us to remember Bhagavan. Then that meaning became clear, that it is not possible for me to remember you. You please make sure that I remember you, and you don't forget me. One may say that Saguna Upasana will make you eligible for Nirguna Upasana. That is true. But please understand, Saguna Bhakti also requires a certain maturity. Not intellectual maturity, but the maturity of heart. It is not easy to love God. It is not easy. You can force someone to study. You cannot force someone to love. Therefore, having said that, Saguna Bhaktas are best because they can start from anywhere. Nirguna Bhaktas, they also reach me. I love them also, Bhagavan says. But kleshaha adhikataraha. But their path is difficult if they have not done Saguna Bhakti. And then he explained that the result of both is same. Now this is another clarity that we must have. Jnana and Bhakti are one and the same. Please carefully listen. Jnana and Bhakti are one and the same. Jnana Yoga and Bhakti Yoga are different paths. Why do you say like this? Jnana means knowledge. What is the knowledge that we are talking about? The knowledge that I am Brahman. Correct? That I am that Brahman who is the substratum of the entire world. So myself itself is the self of all. So Jnana is of that Advaita Brahma. That there is only one reality. That union. Remember yoga? Yoga, remember? Yoga means union. That there are no two things, there is only one. Bhakti means oneness only. Bhakti means love. What do you mean by love? When you say, I love somebody, means what? What do you mean by that? You identify with that person. You say, when I love my wife or when I love my husband, what are you saying? That we both are one, and therefore my husband's problems are my problems. His joy is my joy. This is called love. The ultimate culmination of love is when you don't feel any kind of separateness. When it has become one. Not two things merging, but when it has become one. Identity, oneness is the culmination of bhakti, and that alone is culmination of jnana. So jnana and bhakti are not two different things. They are one and the same. The goal is same. The paths may be different. Path of knowledge, path of devotion. Jnana yoga, bhakti yoga. The paths are different, the steps are different. But the result, the goal is one and the same. Whether you call it as jnana, whether you call it as bhakti, it doesn't matter, because ultimately they both are same. Is this also understood, clear? As paths they are different, as goal they are one. So Jnana Yoga path was what? Guru Upasadana, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Remember? No, like that, what is the path of Bhakti Yoga? That is what he explains now. And he gives it as steps. But what kind of steps? Steps other way around. You remember in Dhyana Yoga in 6th chapter, Bhagavan gave step by step what you should do first, then what you should do, then what you should do, then what you should do. Remember? Like that cooking recipe. Do this, do this, do this. Now here he says, Arjuna, this is the best that you can do. You can't do this, then do this. You can't do this, then do this. You can't do this also, then do this. So here also he is giving steps, but not from bottom to top. He is giving it from top to bottom. What is the best way of Saguna, or what is the final thing that Saguna Bhakti can achieve? Mayye vamana adhatsva, mayi buddhim niveshaya, nivasishyasi mayyeva, ata urdhvam na samshayah. He says, Mayyeva mana adhatsva, you put your mind in me alone. Mayyeva. Don't put it anywhere else. Mayi buddhim niveshaya, put your intellect also in me. Mayyeva nivasishyasi, and then you will reach me alone. So this is what is called as matchittaha matparaha. Earlier in many chapters, he has used these phrases. Matchittaha, who has put his chitta, mind in me. Matparaha, who has put his intellect. For that devotee, I am the most important person. God is the most important person. Matparaha. He says, who can put their mind and intellect in Bhagavan? Who have natural love for Bhagavan. If now we tell that we have to put our mind in Bhagavan, very difficult. I always give this anecdote that somebody went to Tukaram Maharaj. Tukaram Maharaj was a great saint from the 16th century in Maharashtra, and that person asked that, Maharaj, I have one question. What? No, how to put my mind in Bhagavan? Why? It is very difficult. My mind thinks of so many things that it doesn't go to Bhagavan. Isn't that our question also? Even when we sit for japa, mala is in hand, japa is in mouth, you are looking at Bhagavan, still mind goes somewhere else. It happens or no? So the person asked, how to put mind in Bhagavan? Tukaram Maharaj said, I don't understand your question. Why? How can you put mind anywhere else other than Bhagavan? He says, Sundarate dhyana ubhe vitevari karakatavari theuniya. Such a beautiful form of God is standing there for us. How can you look at anything else? You look at the mind of saints. Once, Naradji went to Vrindavan because he had heard so much about gopis all the time. Shri Krishna also, whenever he will go to Dwaraka to meet Shri Krishna, he will also say, oh, gopis and their love for me is so great. So Naradji said, what is this all? Everybody is talking about gopis, let me go and see. What is so special about them? So Naradji went to Vrindavan. And he looked everywhere. What were the gopis doing? They were doing their own work and remembering Bhagavan. All their household work and all the other things they were doing. And then he saw a very peculiar sight, that there was one gopi who is sitting there and meditating. And Naradji thought that if gopis also have to meditate, on Bhagavan means they are not that great, that means. So he waited for that gopi to finish meditation. The moment she finished meditation, she was going home. Naradji said, one second. Were you meditating? She said, yes. Said, so you also need to meditate on Bhagavan? She said, no, Naradji, my problem is different only. He said, why, what happened? I was sitting quietly and meditating to remove Shri Krishna from my mind. Why? That fellow has captured my mind and I can't do anything else. So I was sitting and telling him, get out, don't stay. You understand? That moment Naradji understood what devotion is. That's why when he writes Bhakti Sutra, Narad Bhakti Sutra, we see he gives definition of bhakti. Different people's definitions also he gives. Pujadishu anuraga iti parasharyah, kathadishu iti gargaha, atmarati avirodhena iti shandilya, etc. And then he says himself, what is my opinion of bhakti? Naradastu tad arpita akhila acharata tad vismarane paramavyakulata iti. He says, what is according to be bhakti? Tad arpita akhila acharata. You dedicate all your actions to Bhagavan. Tad vismarane, and when for a moment also you forget God, paramavyakulata. You feel so, huge sorrow in you. Why? Because you have forgotten God. Like the fish out of water. We say, no? How that fish will start to shake. Why? Going back to what? Like that your mind will be violent. Why? Because it wants to go back to God. This is devotion, he says. And to give examples, he says, Yatha Vraja Gopikanam. Like the gopis of Vrindavan who had love towards Bhagavan Shri Krishna. Their every action is dedicated to Krishna. From morning till night. And when for some time Shri Krishna used to go to forest for grazing the cows, they used to feel that pranas have left. Bhagavatam says that gopis used to stand there when Shri Krishna is taking the cows. Till the evening they will be waiting when Bhagavan comes back. As though pranas have left. This is the goal of bhakti. Mayyeva mana adhatsva, mai buddhim niveshaya. Now, Bhagavan says, do you think it is difficult for you? Of course, Bhagavan, what do you mean difficult for you? Very difficult. I do japa for 5 minutes. In that 5 minutes, 5 seconds also I don't remember you. Maybe you are formed for some time. But how to put my mind in you? Atha chittam samadhatum na shaknoshi mayi sthiram abhyasa yogena tataha mam ichhaptum dhananjaya. Atha yadi, if mayi sthiram chittam sthiram samadhatum na shaknoshi, if you are not able to keep your mind firmly in me, if, then what? Abhyasa yogena. Practice it. What do you mean Abhyasa Yogena? I may not be able to do it as the final effortless state, but you practice keeping your mind in me. For that what? For that you take some alambana, some support. Look at my form. Try to think of that beautiful form. It's called Rupa Dhyana. Rupa Dhyana. Mentally you are meditating on Bhagavan's Rupa. Why? That will give you some support to put your mind in Bhagavan. You do this. Bhagavan, I will try, but I am not sure how much I will be able to do. Abhyasepya samarthosi mat karma paramo bhava madarthamapi karmani kurvan siddhim avapsyasi. Abhyase api asamartha asi. If you are incapable even of for practicing that, then what do you do? Mat karma paramaha. do certain special actions for me. Mentally, if you are not able to meditate on my form, then what? Then physically, using your speech, perform certain special activities. Puja, japa, nama sankirtana, katha shravana, stuti, stotra patana, all these activities you do. Why? It will be little easier. Why? Only with mind if you have to do is very difficult. You imagine your body is not moving, eyes are closed, speech is not saying anything. Only using your mind you have to meditate on Bhagavan's form. Even to meditate on his form is difficult. So easier than that is what? You say his name, you chant his name, you do the puja. Why puja? Because your hands are also busy, your senses are also busy, your Vani speech is also busy. Easier to focus. There is something called as unicycle. You know unicycle? The one that they use in circus. That there will be only one wheel and they sit on that and you look and you clap. Why? Why do we clap? Do you know that? Why do we clap? Because we know we can't do it. Simple. Somebody is singing, after the singing we clap. Why? We know we can't do like that. Appreciation. In case unicycle is not possible, bicycle, 2 wheels, that you do. No, but I am just learning extra wheels. For children you have no tricycle also is there, or that same bicycle will have 2 extra wheels on both sides. Well, even if he becomes imbalanced, then support is there. Like that Bhagavan is teaching us. Best is what? You put your mind and intellect in me. Not possible? Simpler thing you should do. What? Meditate on my form. That is also not possible. Do puja, japa, stotra, patana, shravana, etc. That also is not possible. Athai tadapya shaktosi kartum madhyogam ashritah sarva karma phalatyagam tatah kuruyatatmavan. Arjuna, in case you think that you cannot even do that puja, japa, etc., then what? Then practice karma yoga. That's what he says. Sarva karma phalatyagam kuru. Give up the insistence on the result of all actions. This is karma yoga. In other words, what is the path that he is telling? Start with karma yoga. Do your duties dedicated to God. Slowly. Then do some special activities, puja, japa, etc. Then dhyana, you meditate on Bhagavan's form. And then eventually what do? You dedicate yourself to Bhagavan. Your mind and intellect should remain in Bhagavan. You do that. Then even Nirguna Bhakti you will be able to do. Is it clear? That is what Bhagavan Shri Krishna tells here. So, now in order to do this, few steps are necessary. This is not from Bhagavad Gita. Now I am telling for helping us to do these steps. What? In Bhakti Yoga, it is very important that we have Ishta Devata. Ishta Devata. Each one of us must have a particular form of God that we love the most. There are many forms of same God, and therefore you worship all forms. That is good. You go to Krishna temple also, Rama temple also, Shiva temple also, Devi temple also, Ganesha temple also. That is all correct. But out of all these forms, there should be a particular form that you like, or you appreciate, you idolize. That should become your Ishta Devata. What is called as personal God. Very important this step is. Many people, they do sadhana for many years, but they say we are not progressing because you don't have a particular form that you worship. Now, once you have that Ishta Devata, doesn't mean that other forms you cannot worship. No, of course. Ram Navami, Ram Puja. Krishna Janmashtami, Krishna Puja. Mahashivratri, Shiva Puja. You can do all. You can worship all. But there must be one form that you love the most. Ishta Devata is necessary. Necessary. Don't say, no. We follow the path of knowledge. Even for you, it is necessary. I tell you, Gurudev used to say, knowledge without devotion is dry intellectual gymnastics. I am quoting his words. Knowledge without devotion is dry intellectual gymnastic. And devotion without knowledge is a blind superstition. We have to synthesize both these yogas. We have to put both these together. We cannot say, I am just doing this. No, it is not possible with one. It is not possible. And we see all saints giving importance to both. If they have to choose, they will probably choose Bhakti Yoga, but they will always balance it. Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji, who kept on propagating knowledge, in Viveka Chudamani he says, Moksha sadhana samagrayam bhakti reva gariyasi. Does he say this or no? After explaining what is Viveka, Vairagya, Samadhi, Shat, Sampatti, Mumukshutva, he says among all the things that are necessary for liberation, Bhakti is the greatest. Bhaja Govindam, last verse, what does he say? Guru Charanambuja Nirbhara Bhaktaha Samsarad Achirad Bhava Muktaha. Says or no? After explaining everything, you do this, Vairagya should be there and this should be there, knowledge you should gain. But finally what does he say? One without other is not possible. So even if we are on the path of knowledge, we must have devotion, and for that Ishta Devata should be there. If we do not have Ishta Devata, please think and find out which form of God attracts you the most. Sometimes it will be like, I want to be like this. Ideal person for me. Sometimes it will be where your natural love, your mind automatically go towards him. It automatically goes. You don't have to do too much to think. Have Ishta Devata. Number 2, have a clear established relationship with that Ishta Devata. What relationship? How do you look at that Bhagavan? Our culture, our religion is such, Sanatana Dharma, which gives you full freedom to choose your form of God and the way you want to worship. It is called Bhava. What kind of relationship you want to have with God? So there is Vatsalya Bhava. Many people, they consider Bhagavan as their son. Shri Krishna, Balakrishna. So they will what? They will wake him up, they will give him bath, they will put new clothes for him, they will give him food. Everything that a mother does for a child, they will do. Vatsalya Bhava. Sakya Bhava, you look at Bhagavan as your friend. Pitru Bhava, you look at him as father. You look at him as your master, your teacher. You look at him as your mother. You look at him as your beloved lover. Any kind of bhava is okay, but there should be a well-defined bhava. Why? Because then the connection becomes easy. Let me give you an example. When I say mother, what comes to your mind? Mother. You may give lot of answers. This come. What comes to your mind is your mother. Yes or no? Now you yourself may be mother to somebody. But when they say mother, I remember my mother. Mother's Day, I remember my mother. Why? There is a connection. Now, everybody's mother is to be respected. But my mother is my mother, no? In the same way, every form of God that everyone worships, I have respect. But my God is my God. There is one very beautiful shloka which says that in that Parabrahma, Nirguna, Nirakara Parabrahma and that Saguna, Bhagavan and Avatar, there is oneness. Srinathe Janaki Nathe Abhedah Paramatmani. That same Nirguna Nirakara Paramatma has become Srinath, the husband of Mahalakshmi, that is Mahavishnu, and Janaki Natha, that Sri Rama also. So I know that Nirguna Nirakara Brahman, Ishvara, Bhagavan and Avatara, they all are Abheda, they all are one. Tathapi Mama Sarvaswam Ramaha Kamalalochana. But for me, it is Sri Rama. See what a beautiful thing. I know that there is no difference between Sri Rama, Sri Krishna, Mahavishnu, Ganesha, Saraswati. I know. But where my heart goes naturally, that is called Ishtadevata. So we must have Ishtadevata, we must have clear connection with him. Step number 3. Like in any other kind of love, we should spend quality and quantity time with beloved God. Like in any other kind of relationship of love. When you say, I love a particular person, unless I stay with that person, love is not going to grow. So for that love to grow, what do? We spend quality and quantity time. Please carefully listen. Quality time means what? At that time, nobody else matters. And quantity means what? As much as possible. We have to spend quality and quantity time with God. That is called puja, japa, dhyana, our sadhana, bhakti sadhana. So when we sit in front of God, it is our time. At that time, nobody should disturb me. So if phone comes, don't pick up. You are not Prime Minister of India that when you don't pick up a phone, some tragedy is going to happen. Nothing will happen. And if you feel so much, get up at 4 o'clock and do your sadhana so that nobody will call you. Why? That time. See, how do we do puja? While doing puja, we are telling 10 things to other people who are roaming. Hey, milk. Milk. You are in front of God. You focus there, no? Imagine you have invited God for a meeting. And then after inviting him, he is looking at you and you are looking everywhere else. How insulting it will be for him. Do you think he will stay? He will wait for 1 minute, 2 minutes. If you are not there, he will go. And then you are saying, what is this God? You don't listen to me. When he came to listen, that time you were talking to somebody else. Spend quality and quantity time with Bhagavan. Very important. Then what? Make Bhagavan center of your life. Means outside the bhakti sadhanas also, Bhagavan should become center of all our actions. Whatever we are doing, we should start it with Bhagavan. We are eating, we say, Bhagavan, chalo, let us eat. We are going out, chalo Bhagavan, it is time to go out. Today was a very hectic day, you must be tired, let us sleep. Have Bhagavan center of your entire life. This is what is indicated by Pradakshina. When we prostrate to Bhagavan, we do Pradakshina. What do you mean by Pradakshina? Keeping God in the center, you draw a circle. Means Bhagavan is the center of my life and whatever I am doing is around him. And that also how? I go from this side so that Bhagavan is always on my right side. Correct or no? Pradakshina when you do, Bhagavan is on your right side. Left, right nahi. Wrong, right. That Bhagavan should always be on my right side. And my life should be around him. And what is the final step? Don't just make Bhagavan center of your life, make Bhagavan your life. Nothing else matters, nobody else matters, there is nobody other than God. Mere to Giridhara Gopala, dusaro na koi, there is nobody else. This is called Bhakti Yoga. Okay? Where do we have to start? Karma Yoga only. See, if you see Mayyevamanad, so he gave all the steps. Finally, what did he say? If you cannot do this, Karma Yoga only you have to start. And then have Ishta Devata. This path that I gave you is Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga, what should come before Karma Yoga only? We have to practice Karma Yoga. Bhagavan even goes on to say that it may look like that Nirguna Brahma Dhyana is the most, then you are giving your mind and intellect in Bhagavan, then you are doing Saguna Rupa Dhyana, then you are doing Puja, Japa, etc. And then below that is Karma Yoga. Isn't it? He came from top to bottom. Immediately he says, that doesn't mean Karma Yoga is an inferior sadhana. Somebody may think like that now. Immediately he says, Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasat jnanat dhyanam vishishyate dhyanat karma phala tyaga tyagat shantiranantaram. He says, abhyasat jnanam shreya. Then the practice, the conviction of knowledge is greater. Then Shravana, Manana is greater. Jnanat dhyanam vishishyate. Than Manana, than that knowledge, dhyana, meditation is higher. Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, correct. Shravana will give information, Manana will give knowledge, Dhyana will give wisdom. So, knowledge is superior to information, wisdom is superior to knowledge. Correct. Then he says, Dhyanat karma phala tyagaha. Superior to Dhyana Yoga is Karma Yoga. Now go. Hey, Bhagavan, what did you say? Karma Yoga is superior to all these sadhanas. Why? I told you why. Because what we need to achieve through Shravana Manana Nididhyasana is to give up ego. That happens as first step in Karma Yoga. That is why Karma Yoga is higher. You see? It is the best sadhana for me. Many times people ask this question, which is the best path? Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, Jnana Yoga, which is the best path? It is a wrong question. Why? All paths are best only. The question should be, which is the path for me? Whatever I am eligible for, however my mind's construct is, that is the path that I should take. That is the best path for me. Gurudev in Kindle Life, etc., he explains, we have body, mind, intellect. Correct? 3 equipment, 3 instruments that we have. He said, if you are a body-oriented person, physical, active person, Karma Yoga is the path for you. If you are emotionally oriented person, mind, you care a lot about what people think, you also feel from your heart, Bhakti Yoga is path for you. If you are intellectual kind of person, Jnana Yoga is the path for you. The fact of the matter is, we are none of these 3. Why? When we need to be intellectual, that time we are emotional. When we are supposed to be emotional, that time we are intellectual. Isn't it? We are none of these 3 means what? We are all these 3. Sometimes I am body oriented, sometimes emotionally oriented, sometimes intellectually oriented. So which is the path for me? All 3. You study also, you do japa also, and you practice karma yoga also. It's called 3S. Seva, sadhana, swadhyaya. Seva, karma yoga. Sadhana, bhakti yoga. Swadhyaya, jnana yoga. What should we do in life? Every day should be spent in these three. Early morning when you get up, when there is nothing else to do sadhana. Then after some time, do swadhyaya, listen to some talk, make some notes, read something. Manana, reflect on it, meditate on it. And then when mind is even more energetic, body, do seva. Serve the world. Seva, sadhana, swadhyaya. Karma yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga. Everything we have to do. In what proportion, when we do what, that is up to each person. But let us not have this kind of hierarchy in our mind that this is better, that is lower. Not like that. What is best for me, I should do that. And when somebody else is doing something else, don't look down upon them. Big mistake we will do if we do that. Looking down upon other person's sadhana. Because you are studying Upanishads and other person is doing japa, don't say, what is this japa? Why? Don't forget, you also have to do that. The only difference is he is doing it now, you will have to do it later. That's the only difference. Never look down upon anybody's sadhana. Never look down upon anybody's path. Each person's path is different. As many minds, so many paths. The goal is what we should focus on. That goal is that of jnana or bhakti, whatever you want to call. We said that the goal is same only. Now the person who reaches that goal, Bhagavan says, is most dear to me. So last 8 verses which Bhagavan has given in this 12th chapter are called Amritashtakam, 8 verses of nectar. What is he telling there? He is telling the nature of those people who have reached Nirguna Brahma by doing Saguna Dhyana and Karma Yoga. So Karma Yogi, Bhakti Yogi, Jnana Yogi, one who has reached, either you call him Jnani, either you call him Karma Yogi, either you call him Bhakta, it doesn't matter, they are all one only. A Bhakta is necessarily a Jnani, and Jnani will become a Bhakta, no doubt. What is the nature of that? What are the characteristics of that Jnani, of that Bhakta? Those characteristics, 35 qualities are given here. Naturally they come to that Jnani or Bhakta, we have to practice it. It's called Siddhasya Lakshanani, Sadhakasya Sadhanani. What comes natural to that Jnani become practice for us. Those 8 verses we will just chant. We don't have to go deeper into them because this is not the time for that. But these are 8 shlokas of what is called as Amritashtakam. Those who know, we can chant together. Adveshta sarvabhutanam maitrah karuna evacha nirmamo nirahankaraha samadukha sukhakshami santushta satatam yogi yatatma dridha nishchayah mayyarpitamano buddhihi yo madbhaktas same priyah yasman no dvijate lokah lokan dvijate chayah harsha marsha bhayo dvegaihi mukto yassa cha me priyah anapeksha shuchir dakshah udasino gatavyatah sarvarambha parityagi yo madbhaktas same priyah yo na hrishyati na dveshti na shochati na kankshati shubha shubha parityagi bhaktiman same priyah samashatrau cha mitre cha तथा मानापमानयोः शीतोष्णसुखदुःखेषु समसङ्गविवर्जितः तुल्यनिन्दास्तुतिर्मौनी सन्तुष्टो येन केनचित् अनिकेतस्थिरमतिः भक्तिमान् मे प्रियो नरः ये तु धर्म्यामृतमिदं यथोक्तं पर्युपासते श्रद्दधाना मत्परमाः भक्तास्ते अतीव मे प्रियाः ते भक्ताः मे अतीव प्रियः. I love them a lot. That's what Bhagavan says. He gives list of characteristics that these jnanis, these bhaktas have, because of which Bhagavan loves them. Now you see, we love Bhagavan is one thing. When Bhagavan loves us, that is the goal. That is what Bhagavan tells here. This bhakti yoga is the most beautiful, because it doesn't require any eligibility. Nobody is shunned from it. Everybody can do it. It doesn't require any prior knowledge or nothing. We just have to remember Bhagavan. That's it. Path for all of us. And enough to reach the ultimate goal. Nothing else we need to do. All right. We'll stop. Veji, actually I understand everything that you are saying, knowledge also, bhakti also, but you know it is very difficult. Why? My mind is correct. Understand your mind tomorrow. Why? Tomorrow is Gunatraya Vibhagayo. Mind is made up of these three gunas. What are these gunas? How do they act and how to control them? That's tomorrow's topic. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
Geeta Gyana Yagna